Hello, 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 and welcome to another live stream by Virtual Flight Diaries. And Drunk Billy, hey, hello, how's it going? Welcome to the stream and chat. All right, we are here with the Inibuilds A340. I wanted to fly this this plane again. I know we did a stream when it launched, but I saw this livery and I was inspired to do a little Canadian ops. So we got the Air Canada mint blue livery. It's my second favorite Air Canada livery. I really like the white and black is probably my favorite Air Canada livery. But yeah, we're here, Winnipeg. We're going to take this bird down to Toronto. And let's get fired up. I'm in Sim Update 4 Beta because I wanted to test some things out and got a little bit of stuttering here. This airport's not optimized. It's probably not good for the beta, but we'll deal. But there's a great performance in Sim Update 4. I actually have some things turned up. And it really makes the sim look really amazing, to be honest with you. So I have very high hopes for SU4, especially for performance. And I don't know what's going on with my camera. I got a little... no, that's not the side. I don't know where this... Maybe... My one monitor has got a little bleed through. I got a little white thing in here. So because I have some VRAM to spare, I've added some cameras. So let's see if this works out. I got some control cameras here as well. So because the MCDU from WinWing is now working with the A340 as well. So
thank you for awaiting boarding for Air Canada service to Toronto. At this time, we are completing final preparations and expect doors to open shortly. Please remain in the gate area or nearby so you do not miss our boarding call. Have your travel documents and boarding pass ready, and if you plan to check any last-minute items, please see the gate agent before boarding begins. As a reminder, on this Remembrance Day, we invite you to
so I'm also using Cabby for our cabin crew. So all right, so let's get this bad boy fired up after I got all my announcements out of the way. Oh, one final announcement. Where I live in northeastern United States, the wind is whipping. So if for some reason I lose power, the stream is just going to drop. But if it does, that's what happened, guys. That is... All right. So that's my final announcement. So let's get going, right? All right, we're going to import the SimBrief flight plan. We got Winnipeg down to Toronto. Probably not a real world flight, but we're just going to have some fun. It's flight sim. All right. Payload. I'm going to import you from SimBrief. And then we'll get refueling going. And get some battery power in. Give it a second to warm up and connect external A. And external B can go auto. And we'll start doing some flows. Go on, auto, remain off for refueling. Nav 1, strobes auto. We'll get crew supply on, ground control on. And I believe what this is, the ground control, and it's in the Phoenix Airbus or any Airbus, is it actually links the ground control communications to the CVR. I think that's what that is. I could be wrong, but yeah. All right, so evac to captain's controls, and we'll get the ADers up and going. On bat, that looks good. And make some noise. Engine fire test. Down here, we'll turn, since fire test is good, we'll turn the pumps on. And continuing our flows, come up here. We got. Oh, that's right. Cargo bay test. All our noise making power is done. I don't know if there's a way to test the CBR. But anyway. All right, we're good up here. Start programming you. Don't know if okay, refueling is started. Cool. All right, let's program you. So we got align the IRSs. Probably need to request where we're at. We can align the IRSs. All looks good. Init B. What the OFP. So we're gonna be putting on 21.6. So we're gonna see if that's all good. So we're gonna check that out. This is not as accurate as the Phoenix, but it's pretty good. The zero fuel weight will be 149.9. This is just a temporary fill. We'll finalize that once everybody's on board. Get 45 minutes of final time. Taxi, we got taxi fuel. Six is good. And now we should be able to add, our alternate fuel. Let's try that. These are all in kilos. There's 3.3 tons. We get fuel planning. And it'll show us the required fuel. So we only need 6.5 tons for this flight. And we are taking on 21.6 tons. So we are good. So that's just a confirmation on if our company fuel plan is good. That all figured it out. So onto the flight plan. So let's get our ATIS. Oh, my bad. I forgot this one has
altimeter 2957, landing and departing runway tree 6. Transition level 180. Redback all hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact you have information Yankee.
All right, we have Yankee.
Winnipeg Airport information Yankee. 1720 Zulu. Wind 275 at 14. Visibility 15. Ceiling 4000 broken. 6100 broken.
Winnipeg clearance, Air Canada 556 with information Yankee. We'd like to pick up our IFR to Toronto.
Air Canada 556 Heavy, Winnipeg delivery. Thanks for Yankee. Expect runway 36, Carris Tree departure. Initial climb to 7,000 feet. Squawk 0164.
Would you give us the runway with the worst crosswind? All right, whatever. Cleared to Toronto. We'll expect 36 for departure. Carris 3 departure and climb to 7,000 squawk 0164. Air Canada 556 Heavy.
Air Canada 556 Heavy, read back correct. Contact ground 121.9er when ready for push or start.
We'll contact ground 121.9er when we're ready for push and start. Air Canada 556 Heavy. All right, so we got our clearance in. And we're doing 0164. Of course. Of course. Why wouldn't it work? 0164. Put you on auto. All right. So it's gonna. So we want to do 36 for our departure with a 15 knot crosswind, where 31 actually has the better winds, but it's also the longer runway. So maybe that's it. I don't know, because we're a heavy. We do Carris 3. Carris 3 doesn't have any transition. Least notable one. Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream and chat. Hey, San Francisco. Nice. I honestly don't know. I do apologize. I do not know how to pronounce that name, but welcome aboard. All right, so we got Carrison. We will insert you. That looks good. So we're going to come in. So it looks like they changed runways over in Toronto. 3 left. We're coming in on the Buxom 7 and the Otnick transition, and we'll insert you. And our flight plan is good. Let's scroll through. Here, you have not allowable. I want to go right into the transition. Our arrival. All right, so flight plan is in. Get boarding started. We should have our fuel on board. Land fuel 21.6 is on board. Let's fire up the APU. 1001, 1002, 1003. And we can get boarding started.
Boarding requested.
Captain, boarding has started. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Boarding has now started for Air Canada Flight 556 to Toronto. We will begin with customers requiring special
So
assistance.
while people are coming
and
on
our
board,
Aeroplan Elite
we got
and
the
Priority
APU coming up.
groups. If you are in a priority group, please
Why
approach
are
the
we
gate when
not
your group is
showing the
called
APU?
and
There we
present
go.
your boarding pass and Aeroplan status card if applicable. For everyone else, please remain seated and prepare to proceed when your boarding group is announced to help the boarding process run smoothly. Cabin baggage should meet the size and stowage requirements shown on the placards. Oversized bags.
He said, thank you. Loved your video on how to lean the Black Square Duke on the EDM 760. The other video I viewed prior made learning unnecessarily complicated. You made it easy. Well, thank you very much. I'm glad I was able to help with that. I know it's an older video, but it does translate. It also will translate to the EDM on the professional series too. The Baron and the Bonanza. But you're very welcome. I really do have to get back into making some more tutorials. All right, so we have APU fired up. Put the chrono on, 3 minutes. Should, where, what? Why don't we get, oh, there we are. Wow, losing my mind. All right. Status up. So I did see an FCOM. So I was trying to figure out engine starts with this thing, and I've seen one where they start engine 1, wait to 10, and then start engine 2. I also saw where you could start engine 1 and 2 and then 3 and 4 at the same time. So that's what we're going to do and see if that works. Hopefully I don't brick the plane. But all right, in it new. Let's see, secondary flight plan. We'll copy the active. Don't think failures are a thing, but we'll just set up for internet purposes. So we got CY for entertainment purposes, I should say. Show you what you do here. So we've got secondary flight plan. Secondary flight plan is here. So we put our departure in the secondary. 36. We're going to do no SIDS. because we don't need it for this. I'm going to go back and this is where we're going to set our return. We're going to come back to ILS 36. No star because we're not going to fly the star if our engines are out. And no VX. Secondary flight plan is in. So now all we got to do is if we have an engine out, we don't have to worry about programming the FMC. We can just hit activate secondary flight plan. We already know what we're going to be doing. We're going to be coming back to the runway with takeoff. So we can just concentrate on dealing with the engine out. So that's what they do there. RadNav looks good.
SkyWest 4020, gate 12, taxi via Kilo, Lima, Echo.
Gate 12 via Kilo, Lima, Echo, SkyWest 4020.
We got 258 passengers to board. So we're actually pretty full up.
SkyWest 4020, cross runway tree 6 at Kilo. Continue taxi
So,
via Kilo, Lima, Echo.
there seems to be a little bit of a discrepancy on GSX's boarding. You can see the tops of their heads through the thing. But that's funny. I don't have a GSX profile for this scenery, so. All right, that's 3 minutes. Let's get the cabin started warming up. This is Canada. All right, we got the probe heats on. Let's turn on the APU bleed. Start warming up the cabin. Like I said, I'm really testing out SU4, so I might have some little bit of stutters due to I really got things turned up. I think in Canada they use inches mercury. So, but I'm used to seeing that, so we're not going to play too much with that. So. Fuel prediction. So we're really all that's left is the takeoff. We can't do the takeoff calculation until all the passengers are on board. So let's see what's GX does. The scenery is really cool. Loading the rear. So I didn't do the APU sounds because the startup sounds in this one were kind of mid. I also downloaded. It's a funny thing. So but what are you doing? So you tell us we can download the plane, right? So I downloaded the plane. But yet, still streaming it in because, when I do things and there's a little bit of a lag, you'll see the cockpit looks all weird until the stream catches up. Crazy, in my opinion. Who's telling the truth here? Are we truly downloading it? I don't know. It's just my conspiracy theory take on it. All the lighting up. Lock you. So the guy who did this livery could be an LOD issue. They happened in the past. Yeah, but it doesn't happen with so here's my thing. So it doesn't happen with other planes. that I have on the system. Like, so I don't get the weird. So the A350, which is Inibuilds, I have not streaming. That's on the computer, and I don't get that issue. So that's the only reason why I'm coming up with that that conspiracy theory. I could be wrong. Like I said, I'm going to admit it's a conspiracy theory. But I think Asobo's doing Asobo things. But all right, fuel's on board, so we can get this up. Yeah, what else do we got? Now, top panel looks good. We just got 200 and some passengers aboard. That's going to take a minute. They always say it's better to have everything done and waiting than if I could do the calculation. And, you know, trying to catch up once everybody's done. So we're moving right along. 194 passengers are on board. Let's see takeoff calculations. We're taking off runway 36. So let's see. Air conditioning is going to be on. Anti-ice is going to be on. We're not going to force toga because it's not horrible outside. So let's calculate, see what this gives us. Looks 50. All right, so 135, 138, 154. I'm going to go with it for now. It doesn't show, it's not showing any kind of weird. It should give me 26.6, so that might be a problem. That might change once all the passengers are on board. We'll just do a quick checkup once everybody's on board.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard Air Canada. My name is Chloe, and on behalf of our entire cabin team, it is my pleasure to welcome you on board this Airbus A340.
Oh, they boarded up pretty quick.
Operating as Flight 55.
Not going to complain about that.
For your information, our planned flight time today is 1 hour and 51 minutes, and we expect to cruise at 37,000 feet. This aircraft is equipped with 8 emergency exits. Please take a moment to locate the nearest exit to your seat and review the safety card in the seat pocket in front of you. In observance of Remembrance Day, we would like to acknowledge those who have served. We ask
Yeah, the
for
weights were off.
respectful
All right.
observance during boarding.
Recalculate.
Once we are airborne, if you are an Aeroplan member, please ensure your account details are up to date. You will earn points on this flight, and with many
Yeah,
partners,
that wasn't good.
and elite members enjoy
Alright,
benefits
25.
such as priority services and lounge access. If you
Get
require
you
any
in there,
assistance during
and
boarding or with
then
stowing
we
your
will send
carry-on
you.
luggage, please let me or one of my colleagues know.
So I couldn't
Thank
quite
you for choosing Air
get ahead of the
Canada, and
game.
we hope
All right,
you have a
flaps 1
comfortable
for
flight.
takeoff. 135, 138, 145. We'll be taking off on the Airs 3 departure, which is just really a vector. Airs 3, we got to climb out of 7,000 assigned by ATC. So we just have to be above 1,300. Just really have to take off. That shouldn't be a problem. So climbing 05 to 1,300, then climb direct Gabex, direct track 005 to Karis, and continue track 005 for vectors to assigned route. Climb maintain 4,000. Well, we've been assigned 7,000. And that's pretty much it for our departure. Got we're going to be taking off. Where's 10-9? 10-9. So for our thing, we're going to be taking off 3-6. So we got, looks like we're going to be taking Victor Hotel, Charlie cross 3-1, Charlie at 3-6. No hotspots to note, but we'll be mindful of other traffic in the area. There is a report in the ATIS for birds in the area, so we'll also be on the lookout for that. Weather is icing conditions, so we'll be doing a departure with the engine ice heater on. And any questions? All right, nope, good. Departure brief complete. All right, let's pull the ground equipment. We got the APU running, so we can remove the GPU. There we go. System's good. Clear to remove the GPU. And parking brake is on, so we'll remove the chocks. Green is disarmed. We can close that, close that. Arm doors. Flight attendants, armed doors are cross check. Winnipeg ground, Air Canada 556 heavy, request push and start. Hey, fried chicken number 1, welcome to the stream of Tat. Hey, hello, how's it going? Pushback approved, face west, Air Canada 556. So, face west will be nose right.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Oh, everything is peachy over here. I have 0 complaints today. It's a wonderful day to stream. All right, so we're doing west. Okay, so yeah.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
All right, hooking up. Yeah, it didn't do it that time, so I don't know. All right. Oop. I knew I forgot something. I'm not used to this because in the Phoenix, these are on, so it just, I forget them all the time in this one. I love the Air Canada liveries. Yeah, me too. I was saying that the mint blue one is like my second favorite Air Canada livery. My first one is that is their black and white.
Release parking brakes, please.
Release.
Commencing push. Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push is completed and brakes are set.
All right, before start, check the cockpit prep complete. Gear pins and covers are removed. Signs on and auto. Adheres nav. Fuel quantity 21.6 kilograms set. Takeoff data is set and barrel ref is set. Windows doors are closed and armed. Beacon light is on. No. Thrust levers idle. Parking brake as needed. Before start, checklist complete.
WestJet 546, gate 5, request pushback.
I've been getting this warning. I don't know why. It goes away once engines are started. It's just a hydraulic issue, I guess.
Hold position for traffic. I'll call you back.
It has been recently updated, and since the update, I've been getting kind of some different things going on. What do I do with icing condition? I never found that one out. Why they want us to start out here. Maybe if there's ice on the thing, if I start the engines, they'll throw the ice around. I don't know. All right, starting engines 1 and 2. Let's see if this works. Mr. Fried Chicken, most likely you get hydraulic until engines are on and everything starts working properly. You know what? That's probably it. I kind of figured that, but when this first released, I never got this ECAM.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the crew, I ask.
I don't know. We need Boris to do a sound pack for this. All right, so yeah, maybe it's an option you could turn off. Maybe. I mean, there's a lot of options with. But it goes away, so yeah. I think you're right. I think you're right on your first round. I think it's just that I get the ECAM because the hydraulics aren't pressurized yet. I mean, there's a way to test it. I could have turned on the electronic pump and pressurized the system. All right, starting engines 3-4. So that worked. 1-2. So maybe that FCOM that I was reading was correct, or at least Inibuilds implemented their logic correctly. So up 5.3.
WestJet 268, gate 11 taxi via Kilo Lima, Echo.
Gate 11 via Kilo Lima Echo, WestJet 268.
Still coming up. All right, 1, 2, 3, or 4 are all started. We got flaps 1 coming in.
WestJet 268,
And we could tell them to disconnect.
Continue taxi via Kilo Lima, Echo.
We have a good engine start. You can
Cross runway 36 at Kilo. Continue taxi via Kilo Lima Echo, WestJet 268.
Speed brake armed. I would automatically set it. Did that? I don't know. So we do max. Okay, just finish our flows here. 2 good starts. We can kill the APU. Propeat's on. Engine anti-ice can come on. Say fried chicken. You looked it up. I looked it up. The CYWG is now 2HJMN. Oh, okay. Cool. All right, so a good thing. After start checklist. Wrong one. After start checklist. After start, anti-ice is on. Engine ECAM status is checked. Normal. Pitch trim is set and rudder trim is neutral. After start checklist complete. Flight controls check. We got pull forward, pull back, neutral, pull right, pull left, neutral, rudders, full right, full left, neutral. Flight controls check complete. All right, we are ready to go. Taxi lights come on. Turn off lights come on. First officer can take over comms.
Air Canada 556 Heavy. Request taxi to the active.
So the CYWG is not the registration for a privately owned. Is now. So what did it say? So the the CFYLG is not the registration for a privately owned PITS S1T, or is now. Oh, cool. So, oh, that's right, because oh, this you know what? I brain farted. I didn't know what you were talking about. So my registration is this, and it's no longer a A340. Gotcha. All right, test configuration, normal, we're good. All that's left is this. And protect wind shear auto. All right, let's get out of here, guys. Yeah, I guess, well, they change registrations all the time. This probably got switched out somehow. All right, park brake released. Let us go. Rolling. I want to thank everybody I want to welcome everybody on board this stream. Thank you for watching. This should be a fun little flight. Probably with bugs. We're hopefully Hopefully it's not too bad because I'm stress testing SU4 beta. So I got things turned up, so we might see some stutters, we might see some things. Hopefully, knock on wood, not the worst case scenario. Because of the VRAM, the extra VRAM I'm getting with SU4, I've added some cameras, as you guys can see. I have the McDo camera and the flight controls camera set up. So we're also testing that out. But we're going to be putting SU4 through a little bit of its paces. So some things don't work. So you guys know I use the AccuCore, and I don't. It doesn't work with. Doesn't work with SU4. So we're not flying that. These are all default clouds. So Drunk Billy says, up till now, SU4 has been a gem for me. Yes. So this is actually, I did check it out, but I have not yet really streamed it. I know they were having some issues. I know, whipping around here. I know stupid Microsoft put the Shift-C icon down here. I'm glad to see that that is fixed. That would have been horrible.
WestJet 546, runway 36 taxi via hotel, Charlie Alpha.
Runway 36 taxi via hotel, Charlie Alpha, WestJet 546.
But this taxiway is kind of all over the place. No, ATC is not real people. ATC is AI. I'm using Beyond ATC for this flight. Part of my stress test, I want to see if Beyond ATC works. I know Say Intentions AI has got problems with SU4. Their traffic injections kind of all apparently jacked up. So I wanted to give Say Intentions a go. I know VATSIM, when I made a decision, there was nobody online. I know Toronto Center came online, but I'm okay with that. So with live streams, I really like the background chatter for ATC, and if there's no ATC, then it's really kind of boring. Where am I? I wonder if I load it. Oh, I wonder if I load it in SU4 if something. Hang on, we got them things fixed. I bet it defaulted to. Oh boy, don't. Jeez. I bet it did. It defaulted to that. What else do we got? Don't need you. Yeah. That would have been bad on takeoff. All right, so if you have auto rudder on, there we go. The rudders get reversed. We don't want auto rudder on because I have rudders. Auto rudder's great if you don't have rudder pedals. But if you have rudder pedals, a lot of the planes are all messed up. Wait, what are we? There we go. What do we get hung up on? I don't know.
WestJet 546, hold position for traffic.
Hold position for traffic, WestJet 546.
WestJet 5 for 6, continue taxi.
Some wild winds whipping around. So I love the challenges of flying in the wintertime. It is my favorite favorite time of year to sim is the wintertime.
Hold position for traffic. I'll call you back.
Hold position, WestJet 546.
The only thing I hate about the winter winds or the winter operations is the wicked headwinds that you can get. You can get headwinds up to 200 knots. So, Trump said, "Are you using premium voices?" Yes, I am. Arpit Patwa, I apologize if I messed that up. Your Hindi telly? Sorry about it. Welcome to the stream. I'm not sure what that means, though. I do apologize. All right, yeah, no, I do have premium voices on. It's actually all I use with Beyond ATC. No, I am not Hindi.
All aircraft be advised information Zulu now current. Altimeter 2958. Air Canada 556 Heavy. Contact Winnipeg Tower 125.4. Bye-bye.
Contact Tower 125.4, Air Canada 556 Heavy.
Lights on. So yes, this is you could play. This is PC. I'm on a PC right now. You can also play Microsoft Flight Simulator on Xbox, and soon PlayStation 5. So fried chicken, yeah. Oh, fried chicken. All right, we're set. Let's get out of here.
Air Canada 556 Heavy, holding short, runway 36.
Air Canada 556 Heavy, Winnipeg Tower, wind 285 at 17, fly heading 360, runway 36, cleared for takeoff.
Fly heading 360, runway 36, cleared for takeoff, Air Canada 556 Heavy.
60.
WestJet 546, holding short, runway 36.
WestJet 546, number 2 for departure, hold short of 36.
Affirm, hold short of 36, WestJet 546.
He's a heavy bird. Let's get some,
WestJet 546, hold position for
get some momentum.
Hold position, WestJet 546.
Plenty of runway. All right, ready? Let's go. Spool them up. There. Lex SRS runway auto thrust blue.
546, runway 36, line up and wait.
Line up and wait, runway 36, WestJet 546.
100 knots, thrust set.
V1.
Take. Whoa, that's a gust. All right, pause the rate, gear up.
WestJet 546, Winnipeg Tower, wind 285 at 17, fly heading 080, runway 36, cleared for takeoff.
Fly heading 080, runway 36.
Thrust climb.
Takeoff, WestJet 546.
Air Canada 556 Heavy, contact Winnipeg departure 121.0.
Contact Winnipeg departure 121.0, Air Canada 556 Heavy.
All right, flaps up, speed check.
Air Canada 556 Heavy. Good day, 2,800 feet.
Air Canada 556 Heavy, Winnipeg departure. Identified, cleared, direct Caris. Resume the Caris tree. Climb to 18,000 feet.
Cleared direct Caris. Resume the Caris tree. Climb to 18,000 feet. Air Canada 556 Heavy.
8,000 set.
Air Canada 556 Heavy, Winnipeg, expect radar vectors, ILS runway tree left.
So the problem is with the Caris departure is, yeah, we're going to be going direct Caris, but then we're going to be automatically manual.
Air Canada 556 Heavy, Winnipeg, expect radar vectors, ILS runway tree left.
Wait, why are you telling me to go 33 left? Already?
Expect radar vectors. ILS runway 33 left. Air Canada 556 Heavy.
Winnipeg, WestJet 546, 3,500 feet.
Why would it give me radar vectors for Toronto when we're 800 nautical miles away?
Resume the Caris tree. Climb to 18,000 feet.
Cleared direct Worma, resume the Caris tree. Climb to 18,000 feet, WestJet 546.
Disarm you. Discontinue. So let's go direct. Because I think Beyond ATC just glitched out. So we might. It might be a SU4 thing. Oh, climb out into cruise. All right, there's 10,000. So landing lights off. Ding the cabin. We can go to auto. Oh yeah. Love cloud surfing, guys. Cloud surfing. We'll get up here, and then I'm going to reset beyond ATC. Cruise should pick up. I think it just glitched out. This is a cool departure.
Jet 9001 Heavy. Winnipeg departure, identified, cleared, direct Livby. Resume the Karis tree. Climb to flight level 190. Cleared direct Livby. Resume the Karis tree. Climb to flight level 190. Cargo Jet 9001 Heavy. Air Canada 556 Heavy. Contact Winnipeg Center 118.0.
Maybe it'll fix itself.
Contact Winnipeg Center 118.0, Air Canada 556 Heavy. Winnipeg Center, Air Canada 556 Heavy, through 16,200 feet for one...
Alright, after takeoff, climb, checklist, landing gear up, flaps retracted, packs are on, barrel ref
Air Canada 556 Heavy, Winnipeg Center, radar contact. Climb to flight level 370.
Climb to flight level 370, Air Canada 556 Heavy.
So I think it was just a hiccup and not an actual, like, complete glitch. So, 370 set.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now starting our in-flight service. As mentioned earlier, we will be serving a complimentary meal, and our cabin crew will come through the cabin with a trolley to present meal options and beverages. Please remain seated while the service is in progress, and have your seatbelt fastened whenever seated. If you require...
Air Canada 556 Heavy, radar vectors, ILS runway, tree left. Report ready for descent.
We will do our best to accommodate you. For any purchases, we accept major credit and debit cards as well as cash. Receipts are available upon request. If you are an Aeroplan member, don't forget to log eligible onboard purchases to your account where applicable. Aeroplan offers flexible ways to earn...
Aeroplan, I wonder if that's a real thing.
556 Heavy, radar vectors, ILS runway, tree left. Report ready for descent.
Yeah, it's glitched.
Radar vectors, ILS runway 33 left. Call when ready, Air Canada 556 Heavy.
All right. Other than ATC doing weird things, we're looking good, guys. We are well out of here. We could shut off the engine anti-ice. Climb up to altitude, about an hour and a half in flight or en route. We are up above the sterile cockpit, so let's get some tunage going. Cleared all the way up to our cruising altitude, so don't need to be heads down. Not much scenery.
Winnipeg Center, WestJet 546. Good day. Through 15,000 feet for 18,000 feet direct SIDBO. WestJet 546, Winnipeg Center identified. Climb to flight level 370.
Yo, fried chicken, hey, you're still here, just munching on some tortilla chips. Nothing wrong with that. Just sit back, relax, enjoy the flight. Could have streamed. I wonder what I should have seen. We missed that whole big storm that rolled through. I did a stream up to Jackson Hole in the Starship while that was going on. Should have done like a Chicago flight with that. Everything's it's pretty cool. Everything seems to be working with SimApp Pro. Everything's all linked up.
Climb to flight level 400, cargo jet 9001 heavy.
I know they were having some issues with that, but the last SimApp Pro update had like the MCDU and the FMC. I mean the autopilot. I can't remember. I got so many Boeing, Airbus terminologies in my head. I can't remember which one is which. But yeah, we got this working. It's pretty cool. It's not as in depth as the keep that in there. It's not as in depth as the Phoenix, but it's got everything you need. It doesn't have like the small little nuances. Fried chicken. Oh, because of real weather with the storms and all, right? Yes. Wanted to fly into some snowstorms. FMC, yeah. All right, we'll have plenty of opportunity to punch a hole in the sky during some snowstorms this year, I'm sure. Really like this. I have pre-ordered the WinWing Airbus throttle quadrant. December 9th is what I got from them when it'll be available. We've got a little while yet. I'm really looking forward to checking that out. So my plan is, so this, I have my Bravo with some add-ons. Here's the Airbus add-on with the D10s and stuff like that. It's getting worn out, so rather than replace this for the same amount of money as replacing this, I could get that whole, almost that whole throttle clock. So I could do away with this Airbus setup. I get the Airbus throttle quadrant from WinWing, and then I could do GA and Boeing, which my controls for them work really well. This is falling apart. Like, this is just sitting here. Doesn't even work in the D10 anymore. I had to. This has a neat little switch where you can arm the thing. It doesn't work anymore. I have to. So that's ProDesSim. Now, to give them a thing, this whole setup lasted a good while, over a year. A lot of use.
556 heavy. Crossing flight level 311 for flight level 370. Direct Degver.
So, Fried Chicken said, I was thinking of bundling of bundling some panels and FMCs. I have seen, or building some panels and FMCs. I have a CNC machine. That's pretty cool. You can try to put a sheet of paper for friction under there, the level. I know I could. I just don't want it to jam. You know what I mean? Because then this post is, you know, pretty delicate. And if I break this, totally screwed. No, I'm not gonna play with it. It's just it's easy enough. I mean, this still allows me to pull the speed brakes out, and it's just simple enough of rebinding the arm and disarm for the spoilers. And like I said, I got that whole new beautiful wind wing throttle quadrant coming, so I'm not going to even need any of this. Oh yeah, now we're picking up speed. 517 across the ground, and I don't think we're even up at cruise yet. Not yet. Slow climb up. We got flight level 370 going. We're at flight level 330. Yeah. We're in rocket ship mode, guys. Now, winter flying. Now, if we were going to Winnipeg, wow, probably take us 3 hours to get there. Oh, Fried Chicken, thanks for the subscription. Really appreciate that. So we'll save on some frames. Start off with the trips. I really do miss Rex Acmo's core. Having used it for a couple months now. I don't know if you guys can see on stream because of YouTube compression, but in 2K, all these clouds have the little, I get the little speckle. It looks like just grit or noise. With Rex Atmos core, it completely eliminated that. But like I said, don't work in SU4. I'm sure they'll update it. Now, a lot of devs don't update for betas because, I mean, that would be crazy. But I'm sure it'll be updated in a release. And I've tried everything. I've tried every hack there is. You know, they're saying to go to the config, you know, and drop the noise, you know, put that to, you know, noise removal or whatever to 0 and so on and so forth. It's just never worked for me. I've lived with it. but with Rex Atmos, goes away. Actually makes the clouds look really good, in my opinion. Other than pixelation, the clouds actually look pretty decent. I like these layers. How about that Air Canada Mint Blue, man? I like this one. So I remember, I don't remember which sim it is because I've flown almost all of Microsoft flight simulators from FS2 because I'm old. But I know there's people that have flown the original FS, but I digress. Forget what it was. It was either 2004 or maybe FSX had an A340. And it was actually one of my first ever long hauls I did in the A340 and had this color livery. But I like this one. I like the white and black. So it's white with I think black engines and black tail. I downloaded a livery for Phoenix for Air Canada, and it's all black. That looks hot. We should fly that one. We'll do some British Columbia ops, maybe Vancouver or something like that in the all black A320. One thing Inibuilds has got that I really like is they've got contrails right. Not even Phoenix has this right. This just looks so much like it should.
Winnipeg Center, Air Canada 342 Heavy, flight level 389er.
Air Canada 342 Heavy, Winnipeg Center, radar contact.
So it looks like maybe Beyond ATC kind of fixed itself. We'll go with that. But Sobo needs to fix their moon. That just doesn't look correct. So SU4, well, maybe. It was a little better. It was a spec in SU3. One thing they have fixed is dynamic registrations. I did see that. I loaded up my Black Square Baron in SU4 to see if that worked, because that streams Thursday, and dynamic registrations seem to work, which is good news, because they had it working and then they broke it, and now it's fixed again. But I am definitely liking the performance. Now, of course, it'll take me forever to tweak it out, but
Air Canada 556 Heavy.
I just did an initial push to see where I could go with it. So I pumped up my TLOD, LOD, I turned on ray tracing, all different kinds of things. I'm still running TAA, because I just like the way that looks better than DSL or DLSS.
Intercept the 36 localizer, Air Canada 556 Heavy.
Oh, Mr. Anderson himself. Welcome to the stream and chat. I miss having so many different airliners like the old Project Open Sky aircraft. I think that was either Flight Sim 98 or Flight Sim 2002 maybe. Project Open Sky was the GOAT back in the day. They were awesome. I do miss that. If I already own one airliner, example PMDG 737, what would be a good reason to buy the A340 other than having 4 engines and likely a different FMC? What else makes it different? Well, different ops. So the 737 realistically has a certain mission. And the A340 is a long haul aircraft. It's generally made to go 7,000 nautical miles. So you're not going to go. So a flight like this from Winnipeg to Toronto is not realistic. Air Murray just subscribed. Hey, thank you for the subscription. And so a plane like this is generally for long haul. So you're going to see more like Toronto to London, or Toronto to Paris, or even you could probably reach Dubai in this thing. So it's really just mission. I mean, if you were to get just one airliner like the 737, you could have loads of fun learning the ins and outs and the intricacies and becoming really familiar with that plane. And it's actually more realistic in life to be concentrated on one plane. But different flight characteristics also, different systems. I mean, if you just wanted to learn to fly all kinds of different planes in the world, you know, and you got to be careful. So you got to have, so this one's pretty well systems. The systems depth is really good. Any kind of default plane doesn't really do you service if you want to learn a plane. So that's really just it. There's differences between Boeing and Airbus. And then, of course, there's the classics. If you wanted to learn how they flew, you know, say in the 70s. So the 727 would be good to get. And some people just have their favorites. You know, I like flying different planes and learning different systems. So I usually pick up any kind of high fidelity aircraft that comes out. So A340, you know, I have Phoenix, 300. I in the 2020 I had the PMDGs, all the PMDGs, you know, including the DC-6. I love classic planes. So if you've seen, you know, I know there's a lot of videos on my channel. I think I have 300 videos, but some of my DC-3 stuff, I love the DC-3. It's one of my favorite planes in the world, and I wish I could have a high fidelity to DC-3. But yeah, DC-3, DC-6, you know, they're completely different systems. There's no computers on board. You know, you really get seat of the pants kind of flying. So yeah, it's just the reason you would want to buy different planes is just because you want to learn the different systems and fly the different style of planes and different missions. Like, you're really not going to take a 737-800 across the pond, although you could. It'll reach London from New York. So, Aaron Murray, I wanted to rewind back to your takeoff, but I'm unable to do so. Really? I don't know why that would be. I don't know why. Should be able to roll it back and watch the takeoff and then hit live again and come back up. I don't. YouTube doing YouTube things. I don't know. I know that's definitely not something on my end. So I wish I could help you with that. All right, we are cruising along. Any plans for the St. Helena's flight? Probably this weekend. If you saw the post, the schedule post, there's a question mark for Saturday. I think we're going to take this bad boy to St. Helena's this weekend. It's just a little bit of a longer flight, so I didn't want to schedule it during the week because of work, but I'm off this weekend. The only thing I have is dinner plans, so it's probably going to be around 11. I'm going to kick that one off, but that should be cool. So look out for that one for Saturday. There's not much scenery anyway over this area. Just looking at clouds the whole way, I guess. What is the weather? Look, weather radar. My Navigraph. Snow. There's just snow down in. Yeah, it looks pretty clear down in.
Winnipeg Center, Air Canada, 342 heavy flight level tree.
Storm-wise. There's some snow over Lake Superior, which we're coming up on. Like we won't be able to see that. Yeah, but I can't wait to see if I could bring this in on that shorter runway. I'm not going to even test flight it. Not going to even do a test stream or test flight. I'm just going to bring it in. I did some calculations. It says it's possible with 400 feet to spare. So we're just going to wing it. We're just going to go for it. Just chilling. Air Murray 2277. Are you a fellow Canadian? No, I'm not. I just like Air Canada's liveries. And the A340, not many U.S. stuff, but no, I'm from the Northeast United States. I actually hail from the Philly area. But I do have friends that live in Canada. I have a good friend that I game with. He lives in Winnipeg. He's actually a transplant. He actually came from Philadelphia area. He met his wife while gaming, and they got together, and she was from Winnipeg, and he moved up there to live with her. So we actually still, still game. Welcome to the internet. So thanks for representing our national carrier. Hey, no problem. No problem. We're even serving some Tim Hortons coffee on board. Got a couple of Timmy's, right? As they call it. I think Air Canada had a lot of A340s in their fleet. And shout out to all my U.S. fans. Happy Veterans Day. If you are a veteran, thank you for your service. You know it, good old Tim Hortons. I actually even programmed Cabby to make that announcement that they were serving Tim Hortons coffee on board. I don't know if it did it or not. I didn't hear it. So we're coming up on Belton.
Air Canada 556 Heavy.
Let's check some things out. Make sure we got all our crews in there.
Flight level 373.
Engine's not shutting down. I didn't. So there we go. I didn't do that.
Winnipeg Center radar contact.
Yep. Gotta get our STDs in there. Alright, all our lights are shut off. That's all looking good. We were only 100 feet high. That's all right. It's good. So 453 to our top of descent. About an hour left in flight. It's all looking good. All right. So now that I fixed that, I knew I forgot that. Got distracted, guys. Now we're at the right altitude. So fried chicken, we got, so this is on a pits now. So we're definitely not going to try to do some aerobatic maneuvers. Will an A340 roll do a loop? That's for another stream. I want to say, wasn't an A340 the Air Canada A340? Wasn't that the one that became the famous Gimli glider, or was that a different plane? I think that was nope. I think that was a 767. famous Air Canada flight where they ran out of fuel. And the captain brought it down at Gimli, which was a closed airport. It was actually being used as a drag race track. I think it's still a drag race track today. And that's what thought of that is because Gimli's just above Winnipeg. I think that was a 767. And what was the problem was the whole conversion between metric and standard, or metric and imperial, that they goofed on the fuel.
WestJet 546, Winnipeg Center, radar contact.
I think it was something with the numbers that the crew had were imperial, and the numbers that the ground crew had were in metric, and they put the wrong amount of fuel. And they had a complete engine failure when the fuel ran out. And they tried to make Winnipeg, but the engines quit up here at 350, 370 spring. I forget the altitude, but they were gliding. They were trying to make Winnipeg. They couldn't, and the nearest airport on the charts was Gimli. But the captain, who was a glider pilot, I believe, did some really wild maneuvers and brought it in and saved everybody. Could have been a real disaster. So that's off to that captain. For some reason, I was thinking that it was an A340, but it wasn't. I definitely think it was a 6.7. This playing smooth jazz. Okay. Alright, so we're going to be crossing Felton shortly, and then we should be going over Lake Superior. And cross Lake Huron, and next stop will be Toronto. See if we can land at Billy Bishop Airport. No, just kidding.
Winnipeg Center, Air Canada 342 Heavy, flight level 390.
Air Canada 342 Heavy, Winnipeg Center, radar contact.
Bill, tidbit of non-aviation history, but rather shipping history, was Lake Superior. Ship Edmund Fitzgerald was famous. It was 1875. It was an iron ore carrier. Broke up in a November storm on Lake Superior. If anyone's interested. I'm full of useless knowledge. Jeopardy knowledge, I should say. And a singer by the name of Gordon Lightfoot wrote the song "A Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald." Anyone knows? It was Gordon Lightfoot. That shipwreck occurred the year before I was born, so it's old news. So guys, I've been crew. I've been looking at the Leonardo Mad Dog, and it's pricey. I'm wondering if she's worth it, because I would really like to do some MD-88 flights. As Mr. Anderson himself, sad incident, hauntingly fantastic song. Yes, it's a great song. I play the song, but YouTube would kick my ass. It's a very sad thing, especially considering, it was somewhat modern times and just didn't need to happen, I don't think. But a very testament to the Great Lakes, especially in November. And I could tell you, I have personal story about Lake Ontario, on how fast the Great Lakes can turn on you. So they're not tidal water bodies; they're wind-driven waves, and they can get pretty wild. I've actually seen 15-foot swells on Lake Ontario. I wasn't on Lake Ontario in 15-foot swells, but or 15-foot chop, I should say, 15-foot break bottom. But so my dad and my brother, we used to go fishing on Lake Ontario for salmon, and September, October. So what happened was we were out on the lake, and if the winds are come in tucked off the shore, the waves don't build, and they generally have some fairly calm water on Lake Ontario. But what happened was we were getting into fishing. Fishing was good. We had the we didn't, it's been a while since we got a weather report, and we were about 10 miles out on Lake Ontario, and the winds had shifted and were now coming from the west. Now what happens is when the winds come across the whole lake, the waves start building, and they start building rather quickly. So the whole energy was building out from the middle of the lake and heading towards us. And all of a sudden, we went from nice calm water to 8-footers. Within a half hour's time, we were caught out there. It was quite the ordeal to get back into shore. I didn't have a big boat. We weren't rolling with the Edmund Fitzgerald. We were rolling with a 23-footer. But I can attest to how fast the Great Lakes can turn on you, and it's a shame that that happened with the Edmund Fitzgerald. All hands lost. Now we took our boat down to the ocean. The ocean is a whole different animal, although slower to get to turn on you. The ocean actually turns slower on you, so you got time in the ocean. The only thing the ocean gives you is those rogue waves. So it's usually wind-swept shipping wakes that build on you, and all of a sudden you'll just be out there, nice calm ocean, and whammo, big wave. I've got those rogue waves. It was cruising out, up on plane. We're doing about 28 miles per hour. And you're looking at it, it's nice, calm, maybe a little chop. So we're just bouncing along there. And then a rogue wave hits in the trough of the rogue wave. It's just like you launch and all of a sudden the ocean is just 10 feet below you. And talk about, you know, a smasher. You just bang. I've been thrown from the seat. And must be what it's like to come in with like a 600 feet per minute landing. Now I'm off topic. We're not even talking about aviation anymore.
Charter Alpha Bravo, Winnipeg Center.
All right, yeah. So there we are. We're over the water now.
Expect Hijack Tree, runway 25. CIFA Charter Alpha Bravo.
So, what's everybody flying in the sim these days? Let's get back on topic. Doesn't have to be airliners, guys. It's okay to be GA only. I know GG, he's flying the Dukes. GA, I've been flying the Baron. Absolutely love that Black Square Baron. We're gonna be flying that in Hawaii Thursday. Do a little island hopping. Because so I thought about Hawaii. I got a whole bunch. I do have some scenery for Hawaii, but Inibuilds dropped their Honolulu for 2024. So we'll go check that out. In the Black Square. I can't wait for the F-70 F-100s to drop. I really can't.
Canada 556 Heavy, contact Minneapolis Center 127.2. Bye-bye.
Contact Minneapolis Center 127.2, Air Canada 556 Heavy.
Might actually dedicate a week of live streams to the F-100 when that comes out. You guys are going to get sick of the F-100.
556 Heavy, Minneapolis Center, copy.
All right, let's pop back in and just see where we're going. Got less than 50 minutes left in the flight, so just gonna make sure everything's going good. Outer tanks transfer. So what's cool with this one is when the tank cross feeds are on auto, which they are, they will automatically balance and even move fuel to trim the plane, which is pretty cool. Oh, there you go. We're at our equal time point. So this is the point of no return, so to speak. So meaning all the airports forward of this ETP point are closer than Winnipeg. So if we had an emergency, we could throw on the airports and whatever airport is in front of me is now closer to me than what's behind me. So we would turn around. We would continue forward. Might not necessarily be Toronto that we'd go to, but that's what equal time point. So at this point, passing that point, Winnipeg and Toronto are equal distance. And from this point on, any time forward, Toronto is closer to Winnipeg. Looking good, fuel's looking good, cabin temperature is good. That's 74 around there. No. Being American, I don't use the metric system, but I've learned, so flying Airbus and flying in other countries like Canada and Europe and so on in the sim, I've come to appreciate the metric system. And I think it's actually a brilliant thing. And why we don't use it as Americans, I don't know. But I tend to like see, you know, these numbers and whatnot and kind of convert them in my head.
556 heavy, contact Minneapolis Center 119.1.
So much easier. So like
Air Canada
this would have been like we took 21 metric tons on board of fuel and probably looking at
556 heavy,
a little over 30,000 pounds of fuel. It's just so much easier to just be like, okay, we're putting a, you know, it's just whole numbers.
556 heavy, Minneapolis Center, roger.
Definitely like the metric system, guys. Just easier to figure out, and hence why it's probably the standard system for measurement in scientific world. Because it's just easier to do the math when you're using metric. You know, let's divide by thousands in you know, instead of you know whatever number it would be. Division would be 1,780, just as the number off the top of my head. It's easier to divide by 1,000 or 100 or tens. That's not even that. We weren't even gassed up. We didn't even stretch your legs. Could have filled up and went from Winnipeg to Paris. A340, although notoriously underpowered. So these engines, there's 4 of them, right? They're all CFM56s. So they are the exact plane on, or exact engines on the Airbus. So it's essentially, if you think about it, you got 2 Airbus A320s pushing this plane. But the CFM56 56 are notoriously underpowered for this plane. So it's always been... Now I know the A340-300 has the bigger engines in it. And I kind of wish Inibuilds did the 600 instead of the 300. That's just my opinion. I know, I think it's FS Labs is doing the 600. All right, so we got about 10 more minutes of just chill, and we're gonna have to start getting ready for our arrival. We'll end up smashing it in here. I know for me this plane has not been a butter machine. It's very sensitive with my yoke or my stick. But I've decided that I'm going to actually get the AB6. I was looking at the AB9 or the AB6, and I think the Moza AB6 is going to be my next purchase. But if I want to remain married, that's going to have to wait till after Christmas. I think it's all said and done, and I'll get the Airbus stick from the same company that is out of Europe. He makes an Airbus stick. It works on the Moza. I'm gonna get that one because I want captain's side. I don't know why Moza did. So they do an Airbus stick, but it's first officer. Like, I get it, but who's building a cockpit where they're the first officer all the time? I don't know why they did that.
Air Canada, 556 Heavy. Contact Minneapolis Center 13 for point 6.
Center on 134.6. Air Canada, 556 Heavy. Bye-bye.
So right now I'm rocking the Wing side stick. I like the dampening. I have a HOTAS, but it's really more suited for DCS.
Air Canada 556 Heavy, Minneapolis.
So, but I want that force feedback. So there's a lot of profiles out there that mimic the Airbus in real life, and for my helicopter flying as well. So definitely going to be an next purchase after Christmas probably. So I'm going to get. So here's my roadmap, so to speak. So I'm getting I'm going to get the AB6, then I'm going to get the Moza flight yoke because I want to have a force feedback flight yoke. I'm keeping the Bravo because the Bravo is just the GOAT versatility. Get the... So by then, in my roadmap, should have the PMDG 737s out there, so I'm going to get all the Wing stuff for 737, the autopilot and the FMC. Then, once that's all said and done, I'm doing a new computer. So it's probably sometime the end of next year.
63, flight level 359er.
I want to build a 5090 box.
Air Canada 263, Minneapolis Center.
Then I'm going to dual dual bar. You know, I'm going to take this PC that I have right now, and that's going to be my streaming PC, and then we're going to run 2 computers. Production quality is going to go through the roof. So I got plans. I got a roadmap. That's how I got plans. So this time next year, we'll see if I'm still married. So when it's all said and done, that's probably going to be...
Canada 265, good day, flight level 359er.
I want to say like $8,500 total to complete that roadmap.
Minneapolis Center, roger.
I'm not making any YouTube money. It's going to be all out of pocket. Oh, and don't get me wrong. That's not an invitation to you know, or an indication of anything. I don't make any YouTube money. That's just a statement. I don't want anyone to feel that they have to donate to the channel. Please, no.
Air Canada 263, contact Toronto Center 132.65. Contact Toronto Center 132.65, Air Canada 263.
Say, Aaron Murray said, "Don't fly your marriage into the ground." I won't. I'll stop if it gets there. Land safely, yes. That's why we'll wave off if it gets too much. But I do have a roadmap, though. Thankfully, I have a good job, and I could volunteer for overtime if I want. So definitely want to get all that out of the way before I plan to retire. And I do this. This is so streaming for you guys is my hobby. It's not my job. Not even close. So it's just fun. I like chatting with you guys. I like, you know, flying planes for you guys on the stream. It's just fun. So, and Flight Simulator is a very expensive hobby. It's always been a very expensive hobby. So what do you guys think about Flight Sim coming to PS5? I wonder what impact it's going to have on the rest of everybody else. That's right around the corner. December, I think, they're launching PS5. See, I remember when they went to Xbox, and that was the notorious Sim Update 5 in MSFS 2020, and it broke the sim. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen. I don't know anything about consoles, so I don't know if the code to cross-play PS5 with Xbox with PC is a big ordeal or not. But it'd be nice to know what you guys think of it.
November
maybe there's people out there looking forward to it. I mean, you've got a PS5. You're not a PC guy, and you really want to get into Microsoft Flight Simulator. I guess there's nothing wrong with that. You know, you wouldn't want to have to go out and buy an Xbox.
4231, turn right, heading 360, climb maintain 17,000 feet, altimeter 29er.
Of course, if you're going the Xbox route, I would say just go PC route, but that's just me. I don't even own a console. I had a PS4. That broke.
Air Canada 556 heavy.
Cooked it.
Contact Toronto Center 132.65.
But any game I could play on PS4, I could just get on Steam and play on the PC, really. Plenty of games on both platforms. Why not Flight Simulator? It's a good point. It's a good point.
556 heavy, Toronto Center, radar contact.
Yeah, I definitely don't get too involved in the debate, console versus PC. I've always kind of been of the adage of
WestJet 546, good day, flight level 370.
play whatever platform you have fun on, fly whatever simulator you're fun on. You know, I never got into the whole Microsoft versus Xbox or X-Plane debate. If you're having fun, so what, right? Banking. Let's see what's going on. Okay, we're just going direct to Nick. Drunk Billy, that's the best statement. I love it. The best sim is the one you use. That's perfect. That's perfect. That's right there. You should trademark that. Trademark it and put it on a t-shirt. You know, and I watch the streamers that use X-Plane. Looks fun. The only reason I have not grabbed up X-Plane is I just don't want to get into the investment. That's my only reason. Because I know with any flight simulator, the base model is going to be okay, but you're going to want to juice it up with sceneries and everything else. And I just don't want to get on the investment because I'm already investing tons of money into this one. So that's the only reason. You know, X-Plane 12 looks pretty good. I don't know where. Boy, does that debate get heated. I've seen debates on live streams that moderators had to pretty much almost shut down the stream. It's pretty heated. No need. Right, so let's see where we're at. 132 miles, a little early, but let's look at our approach brief. So we'll pull up the charts. We got Toronto. We're coming in on the VATSIM 7. Hot Nick. Left. Arrival. So I just wanted to put it up on my charts because of this, but this is for sim purposes. So we got our
Air Canada 263, contact Minneapolis Center 119er.1.
Contact Minneapolis Center 119er.1, Air Canada
those SIDS.
263.
That's the number for 102A. 102A2. Now 102A2. All right, so we have approach. So bottom at Airbus at 8,000.
Air Canada 265,
Seems
contact
pretty.
Minneapolis
Contact
So
Minneapolis.
we're going 33 left. So we're going to be coming out here. Only 33 left. And we're on beyond ATC, so they're probably going to vector us. So notable things is at Duvos, we got, we can't go below 10,000, and we have to be at 8,000 at Airbus. Other than that, that looks good. So let's check out our approach. We're doing the ILS. Left.
Toronto Center, Air Canada 342 Heavy, flight level 390.
Which is we're at the bottom. All right, ILS 33.
Heavy, Toronto Center identified.
All right, so this is where we got it. So we're going to be using the ILS 33 left approach. We got a localizer frequency of 110.95. Final approach course of 327.
Runway 33 left, WestJet 546.
The glide slope intercept is 2,020 feet.
Heavy, contact Toronto Center 135.4.
And the decision altitude will be a barometric of 838, which puts us 290 feet above the ground. Airport elevation is 596. Missed approach will climb to 1,100 feet on a heading of 327, climbing left turn to 3,000, heading 257, intercepting the outbound of the Toronto VOR to ICDOT, where we will hold and wait for ATC instructions. Position level is 180.
Contact Toronto Center 135.
And nothing else of notes.
Toronto Center, Air Canada.
At 3,000 airbound for intercept at 7.7 miles from touchdown zone will be our intercept of the ILS. The ILS DME decision altitude of 383 feet. Any questions? VR approach. 5 nautical miles to top of drop. We got about 10 minutes left. We should start seeing that come in pretty soon. So I'm going to Put 10,000 in the autopilot setup for that. Got fuel, looks good. Estimated fuel on board. 6 tons at Toronto. I'm going to fill fuel for our alternate and holding. Looking at marginal farm. We'll plan for icing conditions. Engine heats will be on. We'll add that to the brief. Let's get the METAR. No precept, but we're looking at 15 miles visibility, 280 at 14.2 Celsius, and -2 for our dew point. 2977, no snow or precip. Icing conditions. We got clouds, broken 280. In the sim. So let's see what Hey Limber Rocketeer, welcome to the stream. How's the day going? Good. We are doing really good so far. For the that matches up with Navigraph. Okay. So the sim weather is matching up.
WestJet 546 descending via Boxum 7.
Alright, so there's our top of drop. Or top of descent.
WestJet 546 Toronto Center. Radar contact.
We are all set up for our approach. There's no descent checklist. Let's see. So below 18, we'll do our approach checklist. Or at 10,000, we'll do our approach checklist. Nautical miles. Got a couple minutes left. We're gonna stay heads inside. Manage the descent.
342 Heavy, contact Toronto Center 135.5.
Center on 135.5, Air Canada 342 Heavy.
Bring up the box.
Air Canada 556 Heavy, approaching our top of descent, ready for descent.
Air Canada 556 Heavy, Toronto Pearson Airport landing runway 33 left.
Toronto Pearson Airport landing runway 33 left, Air Canada 556 Heavy.
All right, so 2977.
556 Heavy, contact Toronto arrival 132.8.
Contact Toronto arrival 132.8, Air Canada 556 Heavy.
Celsius.
Toronto arrival, Air Canada 556. Heavy, good day. Flight level 370 with the numbers.
Air Canada 556 Heavy, Toronto arrival. Good day, altimeter 2977. Expect radar vectors for ILS runway tree left.
Altimeter 2977. Expect radar vectors for ILS. Runway 33 left, Air Canada 556
So we got a
Heavy.
program VAP of 131 with a VLS of 126.
Air Canada 556 Heavy, descend to 3,000 feet, altimeter 2977.
Descend to 3,000 feet. Altimeter 2977.
Set on down.
556 Heavy.
Oh, Limp Rocketeer, my friend and I are en route from
Fly present heading, maintain 3,000 feet until established.
Charlotte to Boise on the network. Awesome. Awesome.
Fly
We
present
got
3,000 feet until established. Cleared ILS runway 33 left. Air Canada 556 Heavy.
Air Canada for 55, contact Toronto Tower 118.35. Over to Tower 118.35. Air Canada
Got a,
455. Have a good
what was
day.
that? We got a British airline Concorde flying from Phoenix to Chicago.
WestJet 1231.
Gotta love flight sim.
13,100. We have X-ray.
Nice, guys.
WestJet 656, contact Toronto Tower 118.35.
Contact Tower 118.35, WestJet 656.
WestJet 1231, Toronto arrival, altimeter 2977, expect the ILS runway tree left.
Altimeter 2977.
Is that with your virtual airline, Lip Rocketeer?
Toronto arrival, Jazz 257, flight level 076, we have X-ray on board.
Jazz 257, Toronto arrival, altimeter 2977.
Bullet Airlines is still waiting on the fleet. As soon as we get that, I'll be able to finish things up. Get launch party for Bullet Airlines.
Jazz 257.
We are starting our descent into Toronto and ask that you please return to your seats.
Yo, American Airlines 1554 today.
For your safety, ensure that your seat back and tray table are in the the upright and locked position. And that
Air
all carry-on
Portugal
items are
257 November, leave Mavid heading 230, expect radar vectors for ILS runway, tree left.
So please hold
Yes,
on to
sir.
personal trash and hand it to a crew member.
Leave Mavid heading 230, expect radar vectors for ILS runway 33 left, Air Portugal 257 November.
Secure them for landing. As a courtesy on this Remembrance Day, we thank you once again.
You bullet 737-800. We'll have the 737, but we're gonna wait for
Turn right, heading 285.
PMDG to drop their 737 in 2024,
257 November.
which will be in Flight Simulator 2028 at this point.
Leave Revolve heading 135, expect radar vectors for ILS runway tree left. Leave Revolve heading 135, expect radar vectors for ILS runway 33 left, Air Canada 738. Air Canada 738, turn right, heading 135, descend to 3,000 feet, altimeter 2977, vectors for the approach. Turn right, heading 135, descend to 3,000 feet, altimeter 2977, Air Canada 738.
Alright, so our descent looks good. Our arrival fuel on board 9.6 is consistent. We look at it reaching 8,000 feet, 92 nautical miles. We are all set to go, guys. Knock on wood, although the flight's not over yet, but I think our SU4 stress test is
Over
going.
to Tower 118.35, Air Portugal 257 November.
Though we did notice that Beyond ATC has been glitchy with the SU4. I don't know if that's an SU4 thing or just Beyond ATC being its great self, right? What other thing? I'm liking that I can add these cameras with the extra VRAM I'm getting. So I have great hopes for this update. I think it's going to be good.
Turn left, heading 065, Air Canada 738.
Hopefully, Sobo just keeps going in the proper direction.
WestJet 1231, 12 miles from urban, turn left, heading 315. Maintain 3,000 feet until established cleared ILS runway tree left.
Turn left, heading
The Predator liking the cams.
3,000
Isn't it cool?
Cleared ILS runway 33 left, WestJet 1231.
Took me forever to figure it out. This cam and this cam are actually coming from the same source, so I split and cropped them. So they look like two separate cams. That's where I took me forever.
Air Canada 738, 3 miles from Urban, turn left, heading tree 55, maintain 3,000 feet until established, cleared ILS runway, tree left. Turn left, heading 355, 3,000 feet until established, cleared ILS runway, 33 left, Air Canada 738.
Alright, so let's passing flight level 180. Let's get our Bill U, get our head in the game here. Get the flight recorder up just to have it there. What else we got? I also like the fact with SU4 I can turn up the sim a little bit and then turn on ray tracing, which just makes this cockpit look great. I wish I could stream this because I'm looking at my cockpit in 2K, but I can't stream in 2K yet. Our approach checklist, briefing complete, ECAM status checked. Seatbelt signs can come on. Barrow or minimum descent altitude is set. Engine mode select is normal, and barrel ref is set 2978. 2978.
Arrival, Air Canada 1358. Good afternoon, 9,900 feet with information X-ray. WestJet 1231, contact Toronto Tower 118.35.
Contact Tower 118.
3 times.
Decimal 35, WestJet 1231. Have a good afternoon.
Approach checklist complete.
Air Canada 1358 Toronto arrival. Good afternoon, altimeter 2977. Expect radar vectors for ILS runway tree left. Altimeter 2977.
Let's help us slow back down to our
Air Canada 1358. Air Canada 1358. Descend to 8,000 feet. Descend to 8,000 feet, Air Canada 1358.
Throw some speed brake out. Put that in. All right. That all looks good. Approach looks good in the box. airport node. Right, so I do have the scenery for Toronto. So we're going to be looking at 10 across the nose and 10 across the wings coming from the left.
Toronto arrival, Air Canada 9 for 1, 1,000 feet with the numbers. Air Canada 9 for 1, Toronto arrival, altimeter 2, 977, expect the ILS runway tree left. Altimeter 2977, expect the ILS runway tree left, Air Canada 9 for 1. Air Canada 9 for 1.
Alright, so after Airbus will
descend to 4,000 feet, Air Canada 9
we'll
for
activate
1.
approach if it hasn't already, and we'll pull the speed window and manage our speed to flaps 2. At flaps 2, we'll go manage speed and go in for the landing.
Descend to 3,000 feet, altimeter 2977, Jazz 257.
It's 10,000. Landing lights on.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be landing in a few minutes. Please make sure that your seatbelt is fastened and your seat back and tray table are in the upright position. The use of the lavatory is not permitted at this time. Thank you.
So just to let you know, remember, guys, because I want to plug because it's a pretty good program. Is the cabin crew has been a program called Cabby, and it's all AI driven. You can actually program it to make special announcements. It's a really cool program. There is a free version and there is a subscription version.
Expect radar vectors for ILS runway tree left. Lead revolve heading 125. Expect radar vectors for ILS runway 33 left. Jazz 257.
Slowing down to 210.
Air Canada 13.
Make our crossing restriction.
3,000 feet. Descend to 3,000 feet. Air Canada 1358. Jazz 257, turn right, heading 125, vectors for the approach. Turn right, heading 125, Jazz 257.
Arm the spoilers.
Air Canada for 15 Toronto arrival, altimeter 2977, expect radar vectors for ILS runway tree left. Altimeter 2977, expect radar vectors for ILS runway tree left. Air Canada for 15.
Alright, so we're cleared down to 3,000.
Air Canada 1358, leave revolve heading 135, expect radar vectors for ILS runway tree left. Leave revolve heading 135, expect radar vectors for ILS runway 3.
Can you post a link to in Discord or below on the channel for the cabin announcement program?
Air Canada 1358, turn right,
yeah.
heading 130,
I'll
turn right, heading 130, Air Canada 135.
yeah, I'll put it in Discord after the stream.
Air Canada 9 for 1.
And it will also be I'll put it in the description, the stream description. Probably should have done that, but yeah, I'll take care of that. It's really cool, and it has zero impact on the sim. So 3,000. A little speed break out there, catch up to our profile. Okay, so it wants to... Okay, so we're cleared the ILS 33, so we'll just get down and get that set up. Alright, so LS can come on. Back on profile. Close you. Back to armed.
Turn left, heading tree 15, maintain 3,000 feet until established on the final approach course. Cleared ILS, runway tree left. Turn left, heading tree 15, 3,000 feet until established. Cleared ILS, runway tree left, Air Canada 941.
Approach. Firm activation. Flaps 1. All looks good. We can actually bring this in for approach. All right, so what's it going to be? My guess, 320.
Turn left, heading 075, Jazz 257.
320 feet per minute. That's going to be our landing rate. I've not very much luck with this plane as far as butter goes. Alright, we can actually go flaps 2. Speed check.
Air Canada 941, contact Toronto Tower 118.5. Over to Tower 118.5, Air Canada 941. Jazz 257, tree miles from Urban, turn left, heading tree 45, maintain 3,000 feet until established, cleared ILS, runway tree left.
Turn left, heading 345, 3,000 feet until established, cleared ILS, runway 33 left, Jazz 257.
Toronto arrival. WestJet 546. Good afternoon. 9,800 feet with information X-ray.
Air Canada 1358, turn left, heading 065. Turn left, heading 065, Air Canada 1358.
It's looking good.
WestJet 546, Toronto arrival. Good afternoon. Altimeter 2977. Expect radar vectors for ILS runway tree left.
Altimeter 2977. Expect radar vectors for ILS runway 33 left. WestJet 546.
Jazz 257. Contact Toronto Tower 118.35.
Contact Tower 118.35, Jazz 257.
So all max, we'll go direct. IKMX. IKMX?
Air Canada 1358, tree miles from Urban, turn left, heading tree 55, maintain 3,000 feet until established, cleared ILS, runway tree left. Turn left, heading 355, 3,000 feet until established, cleared ILS, runway 33 left, Air Canada 1358.
Just want to come down a little faster.
Air Canada 1358, contact Toronto Tower 118.35.
Take the approach. We'll arm you.
Over to Tower 118.35, Air Canada 1358.
Alt glide slope look armed.
Air Canada 415, lead nav at heading 230, expect radar vectors for ILS runway tree left.
Tree.
Leave nav at heading 230, expect radar vectors for ILS runway tree left, Air Canada for 15.
Manage speed.
WestJet 546, descend to 3,000 feet.
Descend to 3,000 feet, WestJet 546.
Air Canada for 1510 miles from urban, turn right, heading 290, maintain 3,000 feet until established. Cleared ILS runway tree left.
We're out over Lake Erie.
Turn right, heading 290, 3,000 feet until established. Cleared ILS runway tree left, Air Canada for 15.
Comes the rain. But this is a mess. Hey, there's no precept on the MEDAR. We're just going to keep our speed up a little bit here. Stay at F speed.
WestJet 546, leave above heading 135, expect radar vectors for ILS runway tree left.
Leave Rebuff heading 135. Expect radar vectors for ILS runway 33 left, WestJet 546.
WestJet 546, turn left, heading 140, vectors for the approach.
Turn left, heading 140, WestJet 546.
Oak Star. Right. Oak capture. Oh, this is a mess. This has got to be snow.
Air Canada for 15, contact Toronto Tower 118.35, bye-bye.
Did not brief a snowstorm.
Over to Tower 118.35, Air Canada for 15. All aircraft be advised.
All right, glad slip alive.
Now current altimeter 2977.
Air Canada 556 Heavy, established on final approach.
Air Canada 556 Heavy, affirm.
Flaps 3.
Air Canada 556 Heavy, contact Toronto Tower 118.35, bye-bye.
Flaps full.
Over to Tower 118.35, Air Canada 556 Heavy. Toronto Tower, Air Canada 556 Heavy, ILS, runway 33 left.
Negative 157. Nah. Or is that yours?
Air Canada 556 Heavy, Toronto Tower, continue.
Wilco, Air Canada 556...
Oh, the sky looks the same in real life. Yep. That's real life, crew. All right, plane, what are you doing?
2,000.
Oh, we're 11 up. Why did we just lose our autopilot? Oh, because we're going into VLS. All right. My plane. Yoga lock. All right, we're going completely manual now. All right. Of course. Wave below glide slope.
Air Canada 556 Heavy, wind 300 at 10. Runway 33 left, cleared to land.
Runway 33 left, cleared to land. Air Canada 556 Heavy.
Thousand clear to land. Runway in sight.
Toronto Tower, WestJet 546, ILS, runway 33 left.
WestJet 546, Toronto Tower, continue.
Wilco, WestJet 546.
500. Hundred above. Minimum.
Continue.
100. 50, 40, 30, 320, 10.
Air Canada 556 Heavy, exit right at Foxtrot 4.
Exit right at Foxtrot 4, Air Canada 556 Heavy.
Air Canada 556 Heavy, contact ground 121.9er.
Ground 121.9er, Air Canada 556 Heavy. Bye-bye.
All right, so flaps to 1 config due to landing with engine ice on. Prime the APU. Disarm the spoilers. Okay. All right. So, let's see. Get caught up with the chat while I take a breather, because that was a little intense, I'm not going to lie. So, while the sky looks... all right. You? Yeah. Well, we'll see about that one. The sun was peeking out some in real life. Yes. I was getting ready to give you the unstable go-around. I was going to do it, so I had it in my head at 500 if I didn't stabilize, which we did, and we were going around. I had it done. So nicely done. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. All right, so let's go to the assigned gate.
Air Canada 556 Heavy, request taxi to company gate.
Air Canada 556 Heavy, Gate Bravo 15 taxi via November. Hold short runway 33 right.
Gate Bravo 15 via November. Hold short runway 33 right. Air Canada 556 Heavy.
All right, there's a little hiccup there. So that's November. We're not going to make November. We'll take that taxiway. I'm back around. Yeah, that was a little wild. I don't know what the heck happened there with the autopilot. We kept going to VLS. It just wouldn't. The auto throttle wasn't keeping up.
Gate Bravo 16 via Foxtrot 2, November. Hold short runway 33.
It's Dress Down Tuesday. It's Dress Down Tuesday. All right, I did capture that, so we'll let me stop the recording. We'll take a look at you later. Yeah. Talk about adrenaline. Love it. Let's turn here. So A320 fan, awesome stream, and Limp showed me your channel. I'll be sure to watch it on the regular going forward. Awesome. Well, welcome aboard.
WestJet 546, cross runway 33 right at November. Continue taxi via November, Alpha Echo 2. Cross runway 33 right at November. Continue taxi via November, Alpha Echo 2, WestJet 546.
And that's how we got around to November. So none of this weather was actually on anything because I didn't brief any of it. Unless it was a pop-up. Maybe it was a pop-up. Of course, now, we're getting some frame hits here.
Air Canada 556 Heavy, waiting to cross 33 right.
Air Canada 556 Heavy, cross runway 33 right at November. Continue taxi via November, Alpha Echo 2, Alpha Tango 1.
Cross runway 33 right at November. Continue taxi via November, Alpha Echo 2, Alpha Tango 1. Air
Boy,
Canada
Toronto's a big airport.
556 Heavy.
We're gonna kill beyond ATC because control cam's coming off. Try to get some frames back. I'm gonna make my own taxi path. Oh. Oh. As I just saw the time, it's getting late. I gotta do some things for the wife. So we'll park up and we'll take a look at the replay. Well, we'll see what Volantis says our landing was. So we were unstable until about 1,000 feet, and we weren't completely stable until about 500 feet. So. But the engines were having trouble keeping up. We were going into VLS. That's why the autopilot kept dying. And then it went into toga lock. And I don't know what causes that because I'm not an Airbus pilot. But all I knew is that we could keep it that way. So I had to go completely manual. And I'm going to be honest, is not something that I practice a lot. This is a good spot as any. All right, park and brake. Welcome to Toronto. Ladies and gentlemen. We have arrived, and in one piece, and looks like maybe a decent landing too. So, all right, let's see what Volantis says. $334. Put that up for you guys to see. $334 at 1G, so that's not that bad. all things considered, what was going on. Crosswind, the weather, manual throttle, which I'm not used to. Not bad, guys. I'll take it. You would have been happy with my 157. Of course I would have been happy. Of course I would have been happy. All right, so let's check out that approach. There you. So I'm just hunting for the ILS right now, and I got the visual so we could stabilize. We're a little way off. We're passing 1,000. Still weren't quite stable. Just trying to get us into the wind and lined up. So I was saying, you know, we weren't really lined up with the Pappies, but we were visual. So at that point. So that's why I continued. I'll still say it's good. Firebird, howdy from KMBT, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Well, welcome aboard. We're just finishing up here. Flew this bird into Toronto. Started snowing. You have to check the replay out. Some wild shenanigans occurred on landing. All right, guys, that is gonna be it. I'm gonna wind it back before I lose too much more VRAM. Seems to be a little bit of a RAM leak here, and we were good for the whole stream until now. All right, guys, I want to thank everybody for joining me for this flight. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. The Broadcasters are always fun. Thanks for the landing in the stream. Have a good day. See you. See you, everybody. We got a couple new faces on board. We got A320 fan. We got Aaron Murphy. Who else we got? We got GG's came in, and we got Mr. Anderson himself, and Fried Chicken joined the channel. Thank you very much, guys, for your support, your subscription. And even if you were watching in the background, you're still #1 in my book. This is Virtual Flight Diaries. My name is John. Next time. See ya.